Welcome to this webinar. It's about customer intimacy and predictive analytics. My name is Gunilla Rudante and I'm working for IBM Asbestos. This recording is divided into two, so this is part number 1. How can you do anything that seems impossible? Can you really increase the buying from the customers at the same time that you decrease the market costs, for example, by doing less numbers of marketing campaigns? Answer is nowadays yes. How is that possible? Thanks to that we are living in a world of information, and thanks to all computers that can take care of these masses of data and find interesting patterns that can tell us something important about all this information. At IBM, we are following the latest trends, and now the big data is the latest. And IBM is finding solutions that fits in for different branches with specific needs. IBM has followed the development that is happening right now, the information increase. For example, nowadays a lot of people use smartphones for communication, and they also use social media. That information is also interesting to keep and use. The customer is asking for more, and there is also new innovations. Only the latest 3 years, IBM has acquired 27 softwares and has a total of 80 softwares and solutions that has been divided into several groups. The group I'm working for is called Business Analytics, where the solutions will help the customer to get higher insight of their data to be able to take better decisions to increase their business goals. And that is what this is about. So the agenda is the following. In part 1, I'm going to talk about reference stories. And this will handle the customer intimacy. What that is to know so much about your customers so you can predict how the customers will act in the future and how you then can reach your business goals that, for example, could be increased revenues with less costs. What I will start telling you about is a story from one of our customers in the clothes market called Neck&Neck, which after their very first campaign got all money back from the investment of IBM solution and then started to increase revenue. On 1 year, they increased profit by 15%. Then I will also mention shortly about 2 other companies that has been successful by predictive analytics, but they used other examples and methods as they had other business goals. We have Amsterdam, who would like to increase the tourism, and then we have the US retail business within car products, where they wanted to decrease the costs for stocks of products. In all the 3 examples, we have used predictive analytics, and I will start in next recording in part 2 to tell you about what that is and also do a demo so you can see how easy it is to use and how you can understand the results that you get and how you can use this information for the future. That's what I'm going to show in the next part. But let me tell you first about the reference stories. And I will go a little bit deeper into this one. The organization is Neck&Neck. That's a brand that designs and distributes kids' clothes. They are headed in Madrid in Spain. They have 1867 employees and a commercial network with 211 sales places, most in Spain. In the kids' clothes branch, it's required decision in right time point, which doesn't only require actual demographical information like age, gender, and buying behaviors, but also that you can create, retail, and increase customer loyalty. From the beginning, they missed a tool to handle catalog sendings, and another problem was that they only looked back in time among their customers, not into the future, that we recommend to do by doing predictions. How did they manage to decrease the costs and the marketing expense? What they did was investigate the products that customer had bought and in which way the customer wanted to have contact from Neck&Neck. This information went into their decision support function, and the solution that seemed to be the best for their needs was predictive analytics. With this information, that is based on historical buying data together with demographical data, they could market exactly the products that customers was interested in. That means that they did a predictive judgment or a predicting of the future, and that is predictive analytics. How is it then possible to save costs in this example? Answer is that you send out the marketing only to customers or prospects that has a high chance to be interested to answer your campaign, and don't send to the rest. The research for Neck&Neck was 25% higher response rate on the marketing campaigns. Also, they got more satisfied customers, and they could increase number of retained customers. They kept customers, and all this led to a higher profit. So predictive analytics is looking back historical first in your customer information, and then use this information for the future, act and increase profit or decrease costs. The solution that Neck&Neck used was IBM SPSS Modeler, and that's a data mining tool that I will show you in next recording, part 2. The interesting with this solution was the scalability that could take care of the big amount of data that just continue to grow. They started with a simpler solution and then let the solution grow after a while. They saved money to the company, and 6 months after the implementation, they discovered that for every campaign, they increased the mean value for every customer's buying amount. This is an enormous increase of the profit if you think of that the mean size of each customer's buying is between 100 and 120 euro to 90,000 customers. On 1 year, they increased the profit by more than 15%. So going further to next customer case, that's Amsterdam. Think of following. What if you could follow each visitor's footstep to be able to improve the tourism industry? This European city draws visitors from around the world and hosts major conferences and conventions. Its tourism and convention board plays an important role in attracting travelers and is running marketing programs for that. But it was difficult to judge the success of the programs. The board needed a sophisticated analysis of how tourists were exploring the city. Which attractions were neglected, for example, or was more interesting, and how to improve the tourists' experience to ultimately draw more visitors for the future. It takes a lot of research and planning to design the perfect vacation getaway, especially when you do it for more than 7 million tourists every year. This leads to put in a statistical analysis to understand when and why tourists visit attractions across in Amsterdam. By examining data from the city's visitors pass, which grants access to transportations and tourist attractions, the board uncovered eye-opening temporal and spatial patterns in how people explore the city. For example, certain museums see their heaviest traffic in the morning, so the board runs time-sensitive offers to distribute crowds more evenly during the day. Some tourist sites are visited only in combination with other area attractions, so it makes sense to promote them as a group. And the board targets multiple demographics with the understanding that families visit a different set of attractions if you compare to young single backpackers. The researchers and planning are paying off. The city remains one of the most frequently visited destinations in Europe. They increased sales of the city card by 26% by running promotional campaigns that cater to the specific travel styles of different demographics. of different ages, for example, gender and so on. They supported 40% boost in hotel bookings and a 7% increase in international airport arrivals by focusing on travelers most likely to visit. So this was information about Amsterdam and La Touriste. And then we have another reference story. That's the U.S. department stores of Autoparts. They have 3,000 stores in 40 states, and it's called Advanced Autoparts. That's the name of the chain. The business goal was to increase the sales and decrease the costs, and their challenge was to have a stock with the correct mix of products for each store. The mix could also look a little bit different in different stores and different areas. And I will later, during a demo, show you how that kind of mixed product analysis could look like. It's called basket analysis. They managed to get a stock with a correct mix of products for every store, and this action resulted that they saved $54 million over a 13-month period. They also increased the revenue sales with $109 million because of the extra space they got in the back part of the store after they have decreased their stock. Their predictive models that they use is 70% correct. Now, in the next part, I would like to tell you practically about customer intimacy, and that's about getting close to the customer and get as much information as possible about them so you can do more profitable. And I have already mentioned segmentation. That's one example. That's one way Neck&Neck is using. With segmentation, I don't mean simple segmentation that many organizations is already using. In the reality, it's too complex to be able to do this manually. You need the brain of a computer as a help for segmentation. So I will show you some pictures of that in next recording. I will also tell you how to increase profit by cross-selling. And in that case, I must get the knowledge about what kind of products customer is buying. With that information, I can also tailor the marketing text for doing marketing campaigns that is directed to the customers. Both Amsterdam and Advanced Autoparts use that type of analysis for their success, and I will show you something called basket analysis in a demo. And this will happen in the next presentation, so welcome to that part number 2. Thank you very much.